What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the Quartering, and Trump's team has been unleashed. Yesterday, Tulsi Gabbard got confirmed. Pam Bondi came out swinging, going after corrupt losers like Letitia James. And we still haven't even gotten Kash Patel, which could be today or tomorrow. This is nuts. Not to mention, his press secretary is an absolute assassin. I just thought we could enjoy some of these strong, independent women who definitely don't need no man. Let's start with Pam Bondi first. You know, she is Trump's latest pick to be confirmed, or second latest pick to be confirmed. Many people were concerned she had some red flag law stuff going on in her past, stuff like that. She's the attorney general. Obviously, many of us liked Matt Gaetz for that. That didn't happen. I don't know if we're ever going to know what kind of compromise the federal government had on him. I would suspect it's more than what they released, because he just noped out of there so quick and said like nothing. Like, I like Matt Gaetz based on everything I know. Okay. But I suspect there may be more. But the Department of Justice now has gone after New York, its Governor Kathy Hochul, and other woke states, saying she's going to come for you. People like Letitia James. These are all people. This is what I wanted. I wanted retribution. Listen to Pam Bondi here.
We're here today because we have filed charges against the state of New York. We have filed charges against Kathy Hochul.
I know the audio
we have
is
filed charges against Letitia James and Mark Schroeder, who...
Letitia James, don't forget, is the piece of work behind the lawfare against Trump. Letitia James is corrupt. I don't care that we don't agree politically. That's not even what I'm talking about. But I think that everyone can agree who doesn't have TDS that her persecution of Donald Trump, her moves in terms of that sanctuary city stuff, not really based in reality and law, more so based on owning Drumpf.
Who is with DMV. This is a new DOJ, and we are taking steps to protect Americans, American citizens, and angel moms, like the mom standing right behind me, who you're going to hear from in a moment. New York has chosen to prioritize illegal aliens over American citizens. It stops today. As you know, we sued Illinois, and New York didn't listen.
Nope.
So now you're next. Millions of illegal aliens with violent records have flooded into our communities, bringing violence and deadly drugs with them.
Now, she'll get better. She'll get better on camera. That was a little choppy. But, United States Department of Justice is now suing New York, its Governor Kathy Hochul, and other state leaders on Wednesday as part of Trump administration's crackdown on illegal immigration. Newly sworn-in Attorney General Pam Bondi announced a lawsuit at her first press conference at the Justice Department. People wondered, is Trump going to get his retribution? Is Trump going to, go big and deliver on getting back a lot of these jerks that bent the law? Well, it certainly looks like it. And I'm sure Letitia James is probably feeling a little less smug tonight. Just a little less self-righteous tonight. Again, these sanctuary status states go against federal law. It steals your tax dollars. In 2023, by the way, sanctuary jurisdictions, Pam Bondi in her first day also froze all DOJ funding for 60 days to so-called sanctuary jurisdictions from New York to California. In 2023, those law enforcement grants to New York alone was more than $1.56 billion. The Justice Department is now expected to fork over more than $8 billion in funding to city agencies in fiscal year 2025. Not going to happen. You want to be a sanctuary city? Cool, based, neat, awesome. Good for you. Congrats on being a sanctuary city. I think good for you. That's not going to cut it for the American taxpayers. Like, we're done with this. And then I want to go to, another one of Charlie's Angels here. This is Caroline Levitt absolutely wrecking a smug CNN reporter.
Before it was Elon Musk making our government efficient and accountable, it was some unnamed bureaucrat that none of you knew. Elon Musk is the richest man in the world. He's also now one of the most highly
Whoops, wrong clip. That's a different clip. This is her roasting the CNN reporter who tried to get her with a gotcha and immediately regretted it.
I don't think for you. Which White House official made the decision to bar the AP reporter from the Oval Office and the diplomatic reception room?
So some AP reporter did some stupid crap and they lost some access. Access in the Oval Office and all this stuff is a privilege, not a right. But you can see she's got her RBF on full display here. Look what happens.
Last night.
Well, first of all, let me just set the record straight. It is a privilege to cover this White House. It's a privilege to be the White House press secretary. And nobody has the right to go into the Oval Office and ask the President of the United States questions. That's an invitation that is given. Yep. And there are hundreds of outlets on this campus. Many of you in this room who don't have the privilege of being part of that pool every single day and getting to ask the President questions. We reserve the right to decide who gets to go into the Oval Office. And you all have credentials to be here, including the Associated Press, who is in this briefing room today.
But isn't it retaliatory in nature is the argument, because the reason that the AP was barred, which they said was because they're not using the phrase Gulf of America, they're using Gulf of Mexico in line with their standards. The question here is this setting a precedent that this White House will retaliate against reporters who don't use the language that you guys believe reporters should use? And how does that align with the First Amendment commitment that you were just talking about?
I was very upfront in my briefing on day one that if we feel that there are lies being pushed by outlets in this room, we are going to hold those lies accountable. And it is a fact that the body of water off the coast of Louisiana is called the Gulf of America. And I'm not sure why news outlets don't want to call it that, but that is what it is. The Secretary of Interior has made that the official designation in the Geographical Identification Name Server. And Apple has recognized that. Google has recognized that. Pretty much every other outlet in this room has recognized that body of water as the Gulf of America. And it's very important to this administration that we get that right, not just for people here at home, but also.
So essentially this AP reporter was like, well, I'm going to totally own Drumpf and I'm not going to call it the Gulf of America. So they lost access, privilege access. They're still in the room, by the way.
Also for the rest of the world.
I mean, did she think, this is the best press secretary yet. It's absolutely bonkers. Like, she just destroyed her. And here is, another reporter whining about DOGE.
Before it was Elon Musk making our government efficient and accountable, it was some unnamed bureaucrat that none of you knew. Elon Musk is the richest man in the world. He's also now one of the most highly scrutinized men in the world alongside President Trump because of what he's doing and the access that he is allowing. So there's great transparency. As for the actual receipts, we are happy to provide them, and I actually brought some today. Because all of you know I love to bring the receipts. We have contracts upon contracts that we can send and provide this information to you. Let me be very clear. We are not trying to hide anything. We have been incredibly transparent, and we will continue to be. These are screenshots of contracts that DOGE found across our government. This is a DEI contract, $36,000 for U.S. citizenship and immigration services. That is against the president's policies and his America First agenda. This is a $3.4 million contract, a Council for Inclusive Innovation at the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office, Department of Commerce, another DEI contract that DOGE identified. I can continue to go through these. Oh, I love this one. $57,000 for climate change in Sri Lanka. What is this doing to continue the interests of the American people? Absolutely nothing. These are the line items across the federal government that DOGE is identifying daily. They're moving very fast. There's a lot of paper that we can show you, but we're happy to do it. This administration has been more than transparent about what DOGE is doing. And here's one of their tweets that they posted about the mine. I believe this is in Pennsylvania, where the federal employee retirement system is being processed. Did anybody know this was even happening in our country before Elon Musk talked about it in the Oval Office yesterday?
No, they didn't. And oh, by the way, also, Tulsi Gabbard was confirmed as the director of national intelligence. I mean, Pam Bondi out here absolutely putting these corrupt deep state losers on notice. Then you have the CNN trying to get a gotcha on her. That backfires. Then you have the AP, who is willingly calling it the Gulf of Mexico, or refusing to call it the Gulf of America, just out of spite. Look, the AP is used for fact-checking on a lot of different platforms, so if they don't have any interest in telling the truth, then why should they have premium access to Donald Trump? Their coverage is a privilege. And as long as they want to keep doing this nonsense crap, then they could just sit out in the cold with the rest of the losers. It was nice to see Chris Pavlovsky was in the press room today representing Rumble, and hopefully more new media will get some front desk questions in for the press secretary. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like on it. If you haven't yet, please subscribe or follow down below, and we'll talk to you again real soon.